Welcome to Tampa, Raymond James Stadium, and while it is indeed home to the 2021 Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, it is also the home field for the USF Bulls and the clash that we have in store today. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 5 team in the country, the Florida Atlantic Owls, squaring off with another team from the AAC, the South Florida Bulls. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. And the Bulls will boot it away to start the game. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the Florida Atlantic Owls offense will get the first crack at it here. And here's the man they'll try to feed the football to no matter what the coverage looks like, Jesse.
He's their best player on offense, and I like the way this coaching staff moves him around and tries to create good matchups to take advantage of, David.
And that makes it so hard to defend. When a receiver lines up in the same spot every time, I can bring extra coverage. Man, use this guy all over the field as a weapon of mass destruction.
Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A-game for this one. They've circled this one all off-season, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
He's going to pass on second down. Gets it out fast. And he was just a couple of steps away from taking that one even further after the catch. Looking for space. It's Underwood. Nice move to stay on his feet. Really nice run there. Good, solid pickup, and they'll move the sticks with a first down. Florida Atlantic will go to work with a fresh set of downs. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Let's see if they go back to the air on second down. Here's a quick throw out to the left. Across the 25, he's got room. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. They'll give it to the back. Oh, he gave him the dead leg. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5. The Owls will try to put one on the board on first and goal. He's got the tight end. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Makes his connection. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. They relentlessly move forward. Now it's getting down to cases. Third and goal. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Owls.
And that is exactly what you love to see as a head coach, watching your offense take the field, first drive of the game, and you're methodical, and you take what the defense gives you. You make good decisions. You don't have negative plays. You don't have missed assignments. That shows your head coach that you are locked in and ready to go.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the PAT makes it 7-0. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So USF's offense will get the ball for the first time. These two dudes who both come off the edge can wreck an offensive day, Jesse.
Man, these quarterbacks better have an internal clock working today. If you hold on to the football, you are getting sacked.
Yeah, best athletes on the field are defensive linemen, and when you got guys like this that can get after the quarterback, points will be at a premium.
Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand. Dumps it off in the flats. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try to convert through the air. Trying to escape and get it himself. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
Nice job. Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the first down, and getting down. Because defensively, I'm trying to get a lick. Anytime I can hit the quarterback, that is a win.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll try to pop the draw. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. The Bulls want to crank the tempo. Reads it, fires complete. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down. They've already moved the chains a couple of times on this drive, now out close to midfield. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. How about that alert play from the defense to scoop it up? Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown. The defense with the scoop and score. The defense striking with a scoop and score touchdown.
And defense is about getting guys to the football. Sometimes you just get that hit, the ball pops out, more guys swarming to the football. Great effort, scoop that thing up, now do some damage with it. You always wanted to play offense anyways. Convert that defensive player, offensive player, give me that 6.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. That is a defensive player's dream. Ball sitting there, chance to scoop it up, run with it, and they don't stop you until the band starts playing. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Wide open downfield. Solid work and execution there. They'll have a first down as they mark it at the 40.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown. That was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting to his progression.
They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. A lot of urgency for this offense. Back to pass, it's Tate. It's complete to the right. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down. And the Bulls have this offense rolling. They'll throw it on first down. Can hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. Back to the air one more time. Not in lockstep there with the receiver. A 3rd and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. They're bringing heat. And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes.
This defense has the ability to get pressure on the QB from the edge. And that don't necessarily mean from defensive ends, but from the outside linebackers. These guys get in their sprinter stances, and they come off the ball. That outside linebacker showed you his speed right there.
The Bulls will bring the punt team onto the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fair catch, called for and made. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. And, David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. Florida Atlantic decides to punt it away. Might have thought he'd want to try to pick up a few yards there, but he's content with making the fair catch right around the 35-yard line. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Still on his feet at the 45. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line. And the Bulls moving quickly to the line. They built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
They'll go to the ground. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. The Bulls come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. Looking for a man. It's Tate. Gets it out quickly. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. They want to get this defense on its heels. On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming. They'll try to run for it.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride. They want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. He'll keep it himself. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? From the shotgun, they'll run it. He was running through tackles and picked up the first down and finally got knocked down. And the Bulls will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. Fast motion from the offense. On the move. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Defense blows up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. They'll keep it on the ground looking for the end zone. And he's loose and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown Bulls! Now you know why you do all of those squats, all of those deadlifts, extra time in the weight room.
No doubt. Get that lower body strength so you can just shed people off you. What a great job smelling the end zone and getting in.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. Quickly to the tight end. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. Line getting set on 2nd down. They'll run the option. Tackled, but he has a first down. How about these two running games so far? Dominance on the ground as we look at the first quarter stats. They've swapped ends of the field, and we're ready to go in the second. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. To the ground, he's got it again. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke, and he stopped for a short gain. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Here comes the option. Now the pitch. Oh, what a move! A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution. The RPO, fire complete to the left. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up. And they'll come to the line just needing a few chain links for a first down. Good pickup there. He gets enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, they'll try the middle. Not much room. A pickup of 2 down to the 28. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. The give on the inside. Just slithered through the tackle, and he's got room to run. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. So 3rd and less than a yard here from the 20. This might be 4-down territory. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down. Florida Atlantic goes to work with a fresh set of downs. When they've got him looking run, now to pass. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. Unloads to the wideout. He makes a grab. They make the stop at the 2, but he's got enough to give them a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. They'll run it left, looking for the end zone here. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Man, this offense has started the season off so good. 1-0 a week ago, right? Now building on it again. Great job putting points on the board. It's still the first half, but this unit looks dialed in.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And they add the extra point to finish the drive. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. And the returner is stopped. South Florida ready to send the offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer. The run from the shotgun. Running with power. That's a way to get some breathing room. He's got 5 out to the 9-yard line. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. He's going to run it. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain. The Bulls will call on their punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll signal for and make the fair catch right around midfield. The Florida Atlantic offense will return to the field. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going.
And the defense will corral the quarterback, and down he goes at midfield.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back games. This guy's notched a sack, starting to be a problem. A guy that's diagnosing passes, rushing the passer really, really well. This defense could use this guy's production consistently.
They've got the ball in midfield, but they're facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Quick strike complete. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few. Florida Atlantic will have to send out the punt team. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And that punt will sail out of bounds. Let's see where the officials spot it. South Florida has it back, and the Bulls offense will return to the field. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
And how about the true freshman? We've heard about this guy. We heard he's got a chance to be really, really good. Talking with coaches this week, and he gets his first sack. Listen, guys, I'm a pass rusher. Everybody remembers their first sack.
You make up the game plan, and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Discards a man. And this one will be stopped for no gain. And the Bulls decide to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He only needs a sliver of daylight. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. Here's the handoff. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Looking for room. It's Underwood. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior. 3rd down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. Buys a little time. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to him. We sensed a great deal of confidence, almost a smugness from this coaching staff. And these guys on the field, it's as if they knew they were going to win.
Yeah, playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, and I think they really felt like they had a real good game plan offensively and defensively coming into this one, David. There were some matchups on the field they thought they could exploit. We saw that happen.
No doubt. Good job by this coaching staff, understanding who's out there to make plays, feeding them the football, offense, defense, special teams, all working together to get it done.
That's going to do it for us from here. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. Welcome, everyone, to Pitbull Stadium, just outside Miami and the home of the FIU Panthers. We are anxiously awaiting a battle as this fan base is ready to show everyone worldwide what FIU football is all about. This matchup today, part of the lifeblood of the sport, a rivalry game where the results will be remembered for a lifetime. As we'll see the #3 team in the country, the Florida Atlantic Owls, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Florida International Panthers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse. FIU will kick it off to get things underway. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the returner will be dragged down. So Florida Atlantic's offense is going to be backed up thanks to that lackluster return. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion, with energy, with hatred, because it's a rivalry game, but keep your emotions in check and making sure I'm controlling what I can control.
Leaves it with the running back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Opening drive of the game, and they're facing 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36. Florida Atlantic going back to work after moving the chains. Oh, what a move. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Went to the running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. They've softened them up with a run. Now to throw it. Just a short pass to the tight end. Makes a catch and knocked down. Come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and short. Off the boot, looking for his man. Fires to the wideout. And it's incomplete on 3rd down. Florida Atlantic will send the punt unit onto the field. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He'll call for the fair catch here. So the FIU Panthers offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. This matchup on the outside, Jesse, a big play weapon for the offense, a shutdown corner for the D.
They say big-time players make big plays in big games, so who gets the best of this matchup? That's going to determine the game.
Yeah, I mean, such a fun chess match. How much are they on each other during the game? The head-to-head matchup that everybody wants to see.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Find some space, enough to get 5 to the 22. FIU pushing tempo. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. He's going to take off. At the 35, he's open. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. No huddle here for the offense.
I mean, these quarterbacks nowadays can run so fast. Think about who you've got chasing them. Defensive linemen, those big old defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. They can't catch him because they're faster than them nowadays. So much speed, so much electricity.
And he intercepts it. Got room on the return. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Not the start this kid was looking for. Very first pass of the day gets picked off. This is a defense that's got a lot of ball hawks on the back end, and he's got to be real careful with his eyes, not telegraph throws like he did right there. He's going to have to settle in.
Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. Looking for a crease. It's Underwood. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Got quite a ways to go to keep this drive going. It's third down from the 45. Complete in the middle. Now they're really starting to threaten as they pick up the first down at the 34-yard line. Motion from the offense. Shakes off a tackler. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking into an environment like this, because if you do and you make...
Deep shot for the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back. So now on comes the field goal unit. And very important not only to generate power, but to find his mark, a 49-yard try from the left. And this one splits the uprights. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0. So after putting 3 on the board, the kickoff team is out there ready to boot it away. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Quickly complete. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. FIU pushing tempo. They're going to run it. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Now looking for that first down on 3rd and short from the 26. They'll go to the air. Safe completion on the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. That was just a perfectly choreographed screen. The line got out on time. The running back had a wall in front of him.
And I think the quarterback did a really good job of selling past and kind of dodging the pass rush and getting it to the running back, and then let him do the rest. You got him in space, he'll pick up yards in a hurry.
Unloads quickly. Bulls his way forward. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. This defense will try to force a 4th down on 3rd and short from the 45. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. FIU will line up to punt. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. The Florida Atlantic offense will return to the field. Using his legs, it's Underwood. Keeps the legs moving. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. Got a man. It's Underwood. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. They've made 3rd down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. Pulls it on the bootleg fake. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. And the Owls come to the line with a new set of downs.
This is exactly why 3rd down is practiced every single day. 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. It's money down for a reason. You got to lock in. Great success by the offense so far on 3rd down.
Oh, what a move! Off he goes. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense. 1st and goal from the 7.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. With the run on 1st and goal. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Defense trying to come up with a stop on 2nd and goal. They'll run it to the left, looking for the end zone. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic.
This guy just has a nose for the end zone, and you love his ability to find creases, use his speed in the open field, and go score. He's been really good for his offense early this year. That already his 5th rushing touchdown on the season.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Penn State is currently ahead in this one, but it's been a close one so far today at Happy Valley. They're up by 7 over Temple. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. And they got him for the sack.
You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't protect your quarterback. In their last game, they got sacked 4 times, lost the game. And so far in this one, they're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating and giving their QB time.
Not a lot of productivity on that last play. They'll try it again on 2nd and long from the 23. And off from the shotgun. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. This is a 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. They're setting up the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. FIU will line up to punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Looking for a block. It's Washington. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Colin.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
And guys, Florida Atlantic has the edge. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. Just about ready to get things started here in the 2nd. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. Takes the handoff. It's Underwood. They've got it at the 41. 3rd and short, trying to keep the chains moving. Keeps it on the bootleg. Unloads to the wideout. He's got it. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33. Florida Atlantic gets to the line quickly.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hits. 2nd down coming up. He's looking to throw. Bought a little time, lets it go. Pulls it in, it's Underwood. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead.
And that's why this running back is so dangerous. It's not just handing him off the football, but he's a weapon in the passing game. You see his ability to catch it, turn upfield, make people miss, and find the end zone.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they now have a 3-possession lead at 17. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
17, Florida International, 0.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. Trailing now by 17, David, this is an opportunity that they need to answer.
And down by 17, it's not panic mode yet. Like, I know we just gave up some points, and our defense hasn't played great. think this offense can still be who they are and stay consistent.
No doubt, lots of football to go, but you do get the feeling this is the time of game where, you know, it could get bad. If you don't score and all of a sudden they get the ball back, they take it down the field and put some points up, this thing might be over. So absolutely, this quarterback, he wants to drive this offense down the field and at least put something on the board.
The quarterback scrambled around, but the defense able to scramble him and turn it into a sack.
And you don't want to see this trend continue. Last week he was sacked 4 times. The offensive line, this offense as a whole, needs to get in better situations, get rid of the football faster, and not keep getting their quarterback hit.
FIU will line up to punt. He'll try to really get into this one. On the move, it's Washington. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller has done.
Oh, picked off. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. A veteran in this defense stayed locked in on his rules and made the interception.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board. You still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open. And if I'm the QB, man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it into tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately, gets the interception. Bad decision by the QB there.
The offense set for a first down play. They'll try the right side. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9. The Panthers want to pick up the tempo. He'll pull it on the read. Fighting off the defender. He stops him at the 31, but not before. He picks up 10 yards on the play.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch. As you saw in that last play, getting a first down.
They get him off his feet after a pickup of 5 down to the 25. We had a barn burner the last time these two teams played, and no reason to expect anything else between these two bitter rivals.
Attention to detail, and I think the sense of urgency, David, in a game like...
And the defense, they've got him at the 27. 3rd and long coming from the 27-yard line. You can make a field goal from here, just don't take a negative play. From the gun, wants to pass. Now improvising. Going to try to get it himself. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit. And the Panthers are on the move. Trying to find his man on first down. Got his man quickly.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. On 3rd down, going up top. Moves away as he feels pressure. He felt the heat, trying to get away, but down he goes. He'll lose a yard or 2.
And the defense just gets their 4th sack of the day. And guess what? This offensive line, they gave up 4 last week too. So you need some consistency up front. Make sure you protect that QB that can make those big plays for you.
They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. Splits the uprights, it's good. So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3 spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Florida Atlantic offense will return to the field. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Able to pick up a couple before he's dragged down at the 19. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. Caught behind the line. It's Underwood. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. 3rd and 10, still backed up inside their own 20. This drive hasn't really gotten started. Gonna take a shot at this DB. It's complete. A huge pickup. And he breaks into the open. Touchdown, Owls. And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby. Well, I'm not sure who was closer to the receiver there, the defensive backs or us here in the booth.
That was great execution on offense. Receiver wins the route one-on-one, shows off his speed, gets himself wide open. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that ball. Nice job.
On to attempt the try. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
Florida Atlantic, 24. Florida International.
On the move from inside his 5. The Florida International offense is back on the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of the defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. And that's just a flat misfire, not even close to his receiver. Couldn't make the play on first down. They'll try it again. 2nd and 10 from the 27. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. Found that space and picked up 6 out to the 33. The Panthers want to move quickly. Off play action. On the run, still looking. And the quarterback bought some time, but not enough. Down he goes with the sack.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
FIU will line up to punt. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. He'll bring it back. It's Washington. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. They'll run it from the gun. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Kept it on the ground on first down. Now back to the line. They'll go right back to him. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. The defense trying to get a stop on 3rd down from the 44. Wide out in motion. Off the bootleg and rolling out. Showing the arm strength down the left side. Oh, that slithered right through his fingers and would have been his 2nd interception of the game. Instead, it's 4th down. Makes the grab well past the sticks. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect 4th down call there. Off play action on first down. Escapes the sack. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. Hauls it in. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic.
And this receiver is on fire. He's got all the skills that you look for in a big-time target. And that's already his second touchdown of the game.
They'll try to add another to their lead. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. Oklahoma State is in front. They've led for most of the way. However, Pistol Pete isn't exactly putting this one in the win column just yet. They're up by 6 over Tulsa. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Looking for a crease to the left. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chains. At the 40, there he goes. Coming through that 3rd down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43. After run, now throw. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with a sack. And the Panthers headed quickly to the line. On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Quick completion on the out route. Pulled down for the tackle. 3rd and short coming here right from the midfield stripe. They'll try to get it through the air. A strike downfield. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29. He's going to pass. He'll get rid of it. Got his man. Tight windows, no problem to grab the tackle, and it's 1st down in the red zone at the 10. This offense needs a little something to feel good about going to halftime. A chance to chip away here on 1st and goal. He's got it on the move. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. He's looking to throw. Finds a soft spot in the middle. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Twice they've been denied touchdowns in the red zone, and now it's 3rd and goal. They're going to run it. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Panthers.
A nice job by this offense, putting the scoring drive together. And now listen, it's not even halftime yet, so keep fighting. Going to halftime, regroup. We found a little something on this drive. See if we can cut into this lead and continue to make this game closer and closer.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point gets them a little closer at 31-10. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Florida Atlantic has the ball back, and the offense will try to put together a drive. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited. Still at their own 20 after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10. Buying some time. And he tries to get away, but he cannot. He's taken down. He'll lose a couple. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. On the move at the 30. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Well, as a defense, you know this is going to be a challenge every time you face this offense. They're one of the 25 best in the nation at getting first downs because they can pick them up in a variety of ways, including running the football. You have got to be physical when facing off against this offense.
After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. He's looking to throw. It's incomplete, and he's lucky to get that one back. Almost intercepted. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down. Florida Atlantic decides to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Trying to get to him. And he can't find a receiver, and down he goes. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. He wants to throw here on second down. Looking deep down the right side. Oh, floated high, and it's intercepted. He gets the pick, but not the pick six, as they're able to run him out of bounds and limit the damage to wrap up the half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks so much, guys. And I need not tell you, rivalry games always bring out a ton of emotion. And no surprise, we saw just that in the first half today. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who, once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Florida Atlantic will try to kick it deep and break the seal on this second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. They start this third quarter in a big hole, and they have to start climbing out right now.
And they're going to have to be really aggressive. Like this offense, when I'm playing from behind, every possession means so much more. And if you look the other side, the defense, they haven't given much resistance.
Yeah, nothing has gone their way in the first half offensively. And you know now, based on how this defense is playing with their confidence, that you are going to be challenged on every single snap. So buckle up, get your mind right, and get ready to come back in this game.
To the air on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Lewis. Ball is free. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Man, that's a big mistake. And listen, I'm still going to force feed my playmakers. If I'm that quarterback, I'm that OC, I'm walking over to that guy and be like, listen, it's okay. It's a little bit of a mistake. We're still going to find ways to get you the rock. You're too important to this team not to give you the football.
Florida Atlantic takes over again, and the Owls offense will go back to work. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead, Paul.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs. That
turns it on down the left side. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. And the punishment has been extended. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a two-play drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. Give to the running back. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. And now on first down after converting with the run. The give to the tailback. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And guys, this is a great time to look for an explosive play on 2nd and short. 3 wideouts to the left. Pulls it and fires to the left. Dragged down at the 46 after a pickup of 5 and the first down. The Panthers look to keep this drive humming. Off the play fake on first down. Still looking. But now he's swallowed up, and he'll be knocked down for a loss on the trick play.
Another sack on the day. This offense has to do something different. Maybe bring in more bodies, run max protection, keep more guys in the block, only send a couple guys out to run pass patterns. You got to do something different. But bottom line, you got to protect that QB.
A first down sack can wreck a drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Trying play action. Lets it fly. On target to the left. Got a lot of running room. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Panthers!
Man, how hard is it to defend when you have a weapon like this at running back that can play wide receiver? You can design ways to get the football in his hand. Palmer, once you get it in his hands, he'll do the rest.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and oftentimes those are easier throws for quarterbacks. These running backs, they're just naturally so good when they have the football out in space. Their vision, their creativity, their ability to make people miss. And this guy showed you right there, a difficult guy to stop now if you're this defense moving forward.
And he tacks on the extra point. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. TCU is running away with this one thanks to an offense that hasn't been stopped since that group stepped off the bus. They're up by 24 over the Pandas. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen. Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Got 6 on first down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. The give out of the gun. Fights off a defender. And he's brought to the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Grabbed in the middle. It's Smith. Brought down at the 45 after a 15-yard pickup. Florida Atlantic will go to work with a fresh set of downs. Wide receiver shows motion. The give to the back. And that's a very productive first down play and bringing up 2nd and 3.
Second down.
Movement here from the tight end. The pull and throw off the RPO. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Ball's at the 47. They're looking at a 3rd down and short. Got it behind the line. It's Smith. He ended up losing yardage on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Florida Atlantic will have to send out the punt team. They'll look to pin him deep. And that is just about a perfect punt as he pins them deep inside the 10-yard line. From the gun, the ground game. Plows through the defense. Finds some running room. He'll pick up 4 out to the 12. FIU pushing tempo. The offense showing motion from the tight end, trying to get a read on the D. They'll run play action. He'll loft one deep down the left side. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. Touchdown, FIU! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. Quarterbacks love receivers that can get separation, but that amount of separation is a little excessive.
I agree, Reese, and I think the defense needs to have a little powwow on the sidelines and talk about what just happened, because that was an absolute busted coverage on the back end. Defense can't keep playing like that.
PAT unit on the field. Smashes it through for the PAT. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. Off the bootleg, wants to toss it. Throws to the wideout. He's got an open man. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away. After the quarterback and receiver couldn't connect, it's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Caught over the middle. It's Terrell. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. This Florida Atlantic offense is on a roll. Wide out in motion. The give from the gun. Fakes his man out. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. How aggressive might this play call be on 3rd and short from the 46? Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. On 4th down, trying to find his man. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. Touchdown, Florida Atlantic. And they take it in for 6 more points. How about that quarterback taking the shot downfield and delivering to the wide open receiver?
I love this quarterback, Reese, because he's aggressive. He wants to take shots. He's looking for every opportunity to show off that cannon and that arm talent. He showed it to all of us right there.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Florida International offense is back on the field. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now. Defense giving up points on that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score, and Jesse probably scored pretty quickly.
Yeah, you got to go tempo. You're going to have to try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game. But I think more than that, you got to eliminate the negative plays. No more penalties and no more turnovers.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, he can't hang on. Almost had the interception, and this guy makes so many big plays, but couldn't come up with that one. It'll be 4th down. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. From the gun to give, looking for room.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive yards.
They'll try the run. And he showed himself to be a regular Spinderella, but not a lot of room to run. 3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? Fast motion from the offense. Unloads to the wideout. It's caught. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33. And they're able to make the tackle. Here on 2nd down, let's see if they keep it on the ground. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. And here comes the offense on 2nd down. Oh, it's a reverse. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. The Owls come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. He wants it all. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. From the gun, the running back has it. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And that is your job. The O-line has to protect their quarterback. That's the most important position on the field. You got to make sure you keep him upright. You got to do a better job.
So they'll send out the field goal unit. And he'll try to keep that smooth leg swing going for the 2nd time today, this one from 34 yards out. It is perfect. But now there's a penalty marker on the field. Let's see what that's about. Can't make contact with the kicker like that. A costly special teams penalty. You've got to know your path in front of the kicker. Offense comes back on the field. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Now on 2nd and goal. He's looking to throw. Caught in the backfield, it's Terrell. Touchdown, Owls! And the stomping has commenced. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
Salt into wound, right? Late in the 4th quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and get me another touchdown.
They'll try to add another to their lead. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Kansas is in front. They've led for most of the way. However, Big J isn't exactly putting this one in the win column just yet. They're up by just 1 over West Virginia. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. After the incompletion, they go back up top. And the pass down the left side, diving, caught! And this junior quarterback shows you why the scouts love that big arm of his. He wants to throw. Complete downfield. Still running at the 40. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. And the best thing about this, the offense can't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to make plays like that, Jesse.
I know a lot of people in the stadium probably feel like this game is over, and maybe it's been over for a while, Reese, but don't tell that to this quarterback and his teammates. They're still out there scrapping and clawing.
They made the defense pay with that last big chunk of yardage. Now 1st and 10 from the 30. The give to the back. Shakes off the defender. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. 8-yard pickup on 1st down leaves them with 2nd and short. Running back searching for a hole. They'll put the brakes on him at the 21, give him a yard. Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown. To the ground to try to move the chains. He'll be stopped short, picks up 1, but they're facing 4th and 1. No sign of the punt team as they will go for it and try to move those chains. Running for it on 4th down. He is stopped short, and they'll turn it over on downs. Just a crushing blow at this point in the game. Now they'll run the draw. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Power football with the run. Good blocking, good running, pickup of 6 out to the 30. Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be 3rd and short. Leaves it with the back. At the 45 on his way. And he'll pick up the 1st down after a tough run there. Florida Atlantic goes to work with a fresh set of downs. The give to the running back from the shotgun.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. They'll run it from the gun. He just refused to go down, kept finding space and picked up 7. It'll be 4th and 1. Florida Atlantic will send the punt unit onto the field. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On 1st down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
At the 40, there he goes. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains. They'll throw it on 1st down. Got his man downfield. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line. All wideouts, no backs. Comes out throwing on 1st down. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Man, this poor quarterback, he's got no time. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to find different ways to do it. Sometimes it's not working with 4 wide receivers. Maybe you bring in a couple tight ends, go max protection, more guys blocking, less guys in routes, but you got to find something to have success.
That's the last thing you want as an offense, a negative play, a sack on 1st down. Looking to pass on 2nd down. He'll try to do it himself. Short gain on the play before he slides. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we see miracles in college football all of the time, and they could use one here. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Got it! He goes out of bounds after the big play, but there is a penalty marker on the field. Let's see what that one's about. I bet it felt good to hit that quarterback late until you got an earful from the coach and cost your defense 15. Wants to go up top. Throw to the end zone. Picked off.
This is a beautiful situation for the defense. When you're up by 2+ scores and you're in this situation, you know exactly what is coming. It's going to be a pass. They have to because the clock is their enemy. Great job playing pass, forcing the interception, almost putting the nail in the coffin.
Looking for a productive play on first down. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26. 6-yard pickup on first down. Leaves them with 2nd and 4. He leaves it with his back. 1-step wrap, 2-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. Looking for that first down on 3rd and short from the 28. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. And he's brought down, but the defender got a face full of stiff arm before he picked up that first down. No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival. You're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.